Welcome to Instruction Discussion, our weekly look at the latest topics and trends in education affecting schools here on Long Island and schools around the world. Whether you're a teacher, parent, or student, listen for tips and strategies to help you navigate the educational landscape. There's a bell. It's time to start today's Instruction Discussion on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hello, I'm Kevin Boston Hill, and welcome to Instruction Discussion, where each week we will examine a recent trend or development in education and its impact on Long Island. Since the turn of the century and through the recessions, one thing has been evident. The industries that run our economy are constantly changing. We have become more reliant on new and emerging technologies, especially with so many schools and businesses shifting to virtual modalities. As a result, STEM careers are continually on the rise as we need a steady influx of people to take on these jobs. The question is, how do we prepare the current and future generations of students for this brave new world? Today, we welcome Maureen Reyes, Executive Director of AP Program Management at the College Board, to discuss how the AP Computer Science Principles course is increasing the percentage of women and students of color into the STEM pipeline. Ms. Reyes, welcome to Instruction Discussion on 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, Kevin, and thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's definitely our pleasure to invite you to our classroom today. So before we actually get into today's class, tell us a little bit about how you came to get involved with AP and the College Board and to your current position.
Yeah, I've been with the College Board now for almost 13 years. So I'm a fan, obviously, at this point. My previous work was more in research. So I actually came to the College Board through the research department, and then quickly realized that I, loved what was happening in advanced placement, and found a way to get into AP. And, there was this little course back in the day that was still being built, called AP Computer Science Principles. It was a new type of course for the College Board with through course performance tasks, and it was very exciting. And so I somehow got myself onto that project and worked on it, through development and through launch now. And so that's where I've been, primarily for the last, 7 years. When
did the AP Computer Science Principles course actually launch for students to be able to take it?
Yeah, so AP CSP launched in 2016, and it was really in response to the National Science Foundation. They approached us back in 2008 to address the shortage of women and students of color studying computer science. And so we wanted to answer that call. So in partnership with them, we launched the course in 2016, really with the hope of broadening participation in STEM.
And what have been some of the early results? And now you said it's since 2016, and so we have about 4 years of data. So what have the results been thus far?
Yeah, so first I'll just hit on just overall participation has been phenomenal. This past May, we had 116,000 students take the exam, which was more than double just a few years ago when the course launched. AP CSP was the largest course launch in AP history, which surprised everybody but thrilled us at the same time. It meant we were onto something, and 4 years later, we have some exciting research to share that shows, we're helping to move things in the right direction. So all the things we had hoped for back in 2016, we're starting to see some exciting results with new research that we have that's hot off the presses.
So how has, this course, the CSP course, actually attracted more females and students of color? Has there been a concerted or an intentional marketing push for those populations, or how have they really been able to attract more females and students of color into the program?
Yes. So we were actually very intentional in the design of the course and the exam. So AP CSP was designed to attract a more diverse set of students into computer science. It's a foundational course with a broad introduction to computer science. So, a lot of intro to computer science courses are all programming, right? You're learning a a language and it's all programming. And what we realize is that students who don't know what computer science is, they need a broad introduction to computer science. They need to understand how computer science is impacting them, impacting their world, how it fits into their world, and how they can see themselves in it. So students are learning the skills needed to collaborate with peers to solve real world problems that they are passionate about. And Kevin, this is what's key. Bringing students in with what interests them is how you hook them into computer science, because then they're using computer science to explore the things that they are passionate about. So, for example, we have students building games. We have students building apps that help their community. They're using it to analyze large data sets that interest them. We're even seeing students use it to express their creativity. They're creating music. We had one student program an LED light show as part of their project. So that's really how this course was designed. It was meant to show students how to use computer science for what interests them.
So it sounds like the CSP course is, again, having some limited experience in AP with myself, personal experience with it. It seems the courses that I took were more on like the college track as far as the way that they were delivered and so forth. This course sounds like it's more of a hands-on project-based learning modality that students would have, even if they don't necessarily go into a STEM career. They're still developing certain skills that would enable them to go into just about any industry.
That's exactly right. So, we have one teacher in our one video. It's a famous quote, and he said, students are learning how to think in this course. So they're learning how to problem solve. They're learning how to, think in a linear fashion of how I would solve a problem. And, those skills are transferable to all industries, right? And so you hit exactly on it. Students are using their creative development skills to build hands-on projects throughout the school year. And that really sets this course apart from your more traditional courses that you may have taken back in the day. And I will say that, there are a number of college courses that also adopt this course. Both Harvard CS50 course is an endorsed provider of AP CSP, as well as Berkeley's Beauty and Joy of Computing. They're also an endorsed provider. So they provide free resources to teachers and students for how to take AP CSP using their own courses that they teach at the college. So we're seeing this movement of hands-on real world problem solving, both in high school and growing in college, which is great. It's really attracting more students into computer science.
So with this modality of the whole project-based learning, the hands-on aspect of CSP, is there still like the traditional AP exam at the end of the course where students can still earn that college credit?
Exactly. So the AP CSP exam was very unique when it launched. It still has end of course multiple choice exam as part of their exam score, but students also work on a programming project throughout the year that they submit digitally that is scored by our professors and high school teachers. And that is also a part of their AP score. So students are actually working on a portfolio of work throughout the year that's also a part of their exam score. And this is relatively new for AP exams. We only have a few other new courses that also do through course projects throughout the year, but it really allows students to demonstrate different ways in which their understanding and skills in computer science versus just an end of course exam, for 3 hours.
No, that's going to be a game changer for a lot of students, because you have a lot of students who are test phobic, and unfortunately it also falls into that category of students, or those populations of students that you're targeting. Females and students of color often find themselves very test phobic when it comes to sitting for standardized exams and so forth. So having this portfolio-based grading system, I think, is going to really help them, because they're very intelligent, very bright, and they can build things. They can show their knowledge and their understanding in multiple ways and still get the credit for it, and show that they may not have scored a 4 or 5, just from the multiple choice section, but because of this project that they're building and they're putting together, that may actually help boost their score as well.
Absolutely. So what we know is that, students who may not have even considered themselves AP students are attracted to this course because it is a different type of course, because teachers are telling them, you belong in this course, you should be in this course, But what they also find is that, the AP exam is always optional for every student. So some students take the course and they don't necessarily take the exam. But what we find with AP CSP is because they've already done half of the work throughout the year in building their project, they say like, oh yeah, you know what? I can sit for this end of course exam because I've already done half of the work throughout the year and I'm feeling good about this, The other thing that's really great about this is that students can collaborate on their projects. So students are learning how to collaborate with others on iterative development, how to problem solve with each other, how to give each other feedback. And so that also builds confidence for students in their own skill set, right? Because everybody has slightly different skills, but when they work together, they can see how what someone else is bringing to a project benefits, but also what they bring to the project benefits the project overall. So really, it's that focus on collaboration and creativity that's really bringing in a more diverse set of students.
I don't know if you can answer this particular question, but do you think or know if this type of modality is going to transfer into some of the other AP courses as well, the more traditional ones, to take advantage of that skill set as well?
Yeah, so, like I said, two of our other new courses, AP Research and AP Seminar, both have through course performance tasks. Those courses also have the same energy, the same excitement where students get to pick whatever it is they want to explore and then, have their through course projects based on that. And so I think the AP program definitely is considering how we can incorporate more of this into our more traditional AP courses. So that's definitely something we're exploring right now. It's not on the, immediate timeline. We've obviously had to deal with other challenges throughout the last year. But it's definitely something we're thinking about because we see the excitement and how accessible it makes AP CSP and our other AP courses to incorporate the performance tasks.
So now we have this great number of students who have been involved in the AP CSP at the high school level over the last 4 or so years. What is the data telling you as far as their choice of majors once they get to college?
Yeah, so this is what's really exciting. We have new research that's hot off the presses. And the most significant finding that we're excited about is that students who take AP CSP in high school are more than 3 times as likely to major in computer science in college compared to similar students who do not take CSP. And the great thing is that this finding is significantly and similarly as large for female students, Black and Hispanic students, and first-generation students. So we're seeing that AP CSP is really associated with students' greater likelihood of majoring in computer science in college and also in STEM majors in general. So that's an exciting finding. And we're also seeing that CSP is really serving as a stepping stone to other advanced AP STEM coursework. So for the class of 2019, AP CSP was the first AP STEM course for more than half of the CSP students. And what's great, it was even more so for Black students at 68%, Hispanic students at 59%, and first-generation students at 60%. So we're seeing that it's bringing in a more diverse set of students, and it's also serving as that entryway for them into AP STEM and more advanced STEM coursework.
Since the CSP is more like it sounds like it's more of a I think you mentioned it as a foundational course. So is it still heavy in the programming languages and things like that, or is that part of those more advanced STEM coursework? Right.
So AP CSP, like I said, is a broad introduction. So programming is one of the big ideas in AP CSP. So students are learning programming, but it's not the only big idea, right? So your more traditional intro computer science courses are just a deep dive into one programming language. And sometimes it's hard for students who don't know anything about computer science to really understand how does this programming language fit into like what interests me or how do I apply it, right? So what's great about CSP is that it does give students that intro foundation to programming, but it also helps them understand how computer science is used in the world. What are the both positive and negative impacts of computer science in the world, right? How does the internet work, right? So they're learning about all these other things, but they're also learning and getting an introduction to programming. So what's great about CSP, the reason we made the course language agnostic. So what that means is teachers and schools can choose whatever programming language they want to teach students. So what makes this great is that schools can decide where their students are coming in. So some schools have students coming in and they have a little bit of a background in computer science. So those schools might choose a programming language that might be a little bit more difficult to take on in high school. However, some schools have students coming in and they don't even know what computer science is. And they can start students off with a programming language that might be more accessible for those students. So that's really made this course flexible for schools, for teachers and students. And that's really made all the difference. And what's great is that students can choose whatever programming language they want to submit their projects in. So we're really giving everybody that flexibility. So they're learning the foundation of computer programming, but it's not a programming-centric course.
You are listening to Instruction Discussion on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Kevin Boston Hill, and our guest today is Maureen Reyes, Executive Director, AP Program Management at the College Board. So you mentioned that the students pretty much, the course is very agnostic in the way that it selects its students, but how does AP or how does College Board determine the qualification of the teachers who are teaching those courses?
Yeah. So AP, all AP teachers have to submit their course syllabus to the College Board, and the syllabus is reviewed by college faculty who, also teach the course in college. So college faculty review the course syllabus of the teacher, and they approve it. And so once the syllabus is approved, then AP teachers in the school can call the course AP because we've reviewed it and we are ensuring that they're meeting all of the learning objectives that we lay out in our curriculum framework. And then also the other part of that is, the exam, right? So the exam is a national exam that's written both by college faculty and expert high school teachers. And then it's scored independently by college faculty and expert high school teachers. So the teacher in the school is not scoring the AP exam. It's scored independently. So between the course audit, where students are attesting, or teachers are attesting to what they're teaching in the course, then the assessment, which is also independently scored, is also a way to ensure that teachers, to give feedback to teachers about what they're covering and how well their students are understanding the content and mastering the skills needed.
Let's say my school doesn't offer any AP courses. So how can I take advantage of the AP CSP or any other AP course for that matter?
Yeah. So we have students and parents who lobby on their own behalf to have AP added to their school. Like I said, adding an AP course at your school, adding AP CSP, that you just have to find a teacher who's willing to teach the course. And, what's great about AP CSP is we found so many teachers who don't necessarily have a strong background in computer science, but they raised their hand because they saw that this was so important to bring to their students. They didn't have any computer science at their school. They raised their hand. They went for the professional development. There's a ton of great professional development options for teachers who are interested in this. And they were the catalyst to offering this at their school. So a lot of the times we see, either students or parents lobby to have AP offered at the school, or the teacher, volunteers and says, hey, this is important for our students. But if your school doesn't offer it and you're still interested, there are online courses that are available to students. They can take the online course and still take the exam at their school, or sometimes they may have to take it at another local school, depending on whether the school will administer the exam. There are also students who do independent study. You know, we don't recommend that because we know that that's hard. That's a really motivated student who would do an independent study. But, you know, we have a ton of free resources on our website. Now we have daily videos to help students with the content, especially, you know, given the challenges of the past year. We recognize that teachers had challenges and that students had challenges. And so we launched a number of videos to help students and teachers keep pace with what they need to know in the course and for the exam. So there are a ton of free resources out there if students are interested in checking them out. But also, like I said, there are also online courses where students could do this if they really don't have it, you know, and they can't find a way for it to be offered at their school.
Is this something that, or not just this particular course, the CSP course, but any of the AP courses, would this be something that would lend itself to like a learning pod that we see cropping up a lot now lately?
Absolutely. You know, we see so many creative ways that students and parents and teachers are offering AP and making sure that students are still having that same experience. So I think, you know, as given the right condition, I think any of these innovative options are on the table.
So now we know that usually AP courses, advanced placement courses, for those who may not realize what AP stands for, because some people may think AP, why do they keep talking about assistant principals? But AP courses we know are given in high school. So is there any support that the College Board has or provides to prepare middle school students to get them ready for the rigors of the AP coursework?
Yeah, you know, we actually just launched our pre-AP program. I think it was last year. We just launched our pre-AP program. So it's a new program, and it's designed to do exactly that, to help students, you know, be prepared to take, you know, rigorous coursework in high school, and ultimately be prepared to start with college, you know, on day one. So we have our pre-AP program. They can go to our website, collegeboard.org, to learn more about that. We also have a springboard program, which is also can be offered in middle school. So there are definitely options for schools who are in middle school who are thinking about how to better prepare their students. Also, again, you know, pre-AP is offered in high school and is meant to be that on-ramp to AP. So, you know, again, you can go to our website, collegeboard.org, and find out more about some of those programs.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about a couple of the other programs that I know that you're working on. So tell us a little bit about the WE Service Learning program.
Yeah, thanks for asking about that. That's really an exciting program. And so, you know, a few years ago, we started working with the WE organization, and they have a long history of introducing service learning into education and helping students through their education carry out service learning projects. And so we realized this is a wonderful opportunity to pair AP courses, you know, AP content and skills, with an opportunity to incorporate service learning into those courses. So the AP with WE Service Learning Program is a program where teachers can incorporate the service learning framework throughout the school year. So students investigate topics within their own course, whether it be European history or computer science principles or Spanish language. They investigate topics that they would normally cover in their course, and then they think about it through a service learning lens. So what are the challenges? What are the problems? What's the root of the problem that we're thinking about? What are ways that this problem is being addressed in the world, in our community? And then students build their own service learning projects to address some of these topics and problems that they have identified in their course, and they carry out their service learning project. And so it's a great way, again, to bring students into what's maybe impacting them or things that they care about. So helping students understand like how this impacts their own community or how it's impacting the world, that really gets young people excited. And they really want to go out and then make change in the world as a result of what they're studying. And what's great about this program is that for students who complete it, they actually get this recognition on their college transcript. So they get the APV service learning recognition on their transcript. And it's just another way to show colleges, hey, I'm not just an AP score. I'm not just, an SAT score. I'm also passionate about service learning. I'm passionate about this topic. And this is a project I completed to serve my community.
So it seems like, and since we've been talking a lot about the CSP course, this would be kind of like the perfect marriage of things, because you mentioned that some of the projects that students were working on were creating apps to help their community. Well, that's a service learning project right there. And so it kind of goes hand in hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a perfect marriage.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but do you know if participation in that service learning aspect would also give students, because I know a lot of high schools now are requiring community service hours in order to graduate. So would this go towards those hours, or do we know that yet?
So, obviously they'd have to demonstrate through any community service hour requirement. They have to demonstrate, what they're doing and how they're spending their time. But absolutely, we know that students are, checking off both of those boxes. They're, fulfilling and earning the AP service learning recognition. And at the same time, they're fulfilling their community hours requirements, either in the state or the district. Yep. And
what is the AP mentoring program about?
Yeah, so you're hitting on all the programs that I manage. That's great. So AP Mentoring is an online program that matches master teachers to newer teachers or teachers who may just want some extra support. So, this is great because, let's take CSP teachers, for example. Often a computer science teacher is the only teacher in the school or the district. They really don't have anybody to collaborate with. And so this provides an opportunity for teachers to pair up with a master teacher online. And they also have a few other teachers in their little cohort, and they meet once a month. And what's great about this program is it's customized to the teacher's needs. So the master teacher meets with the teacher, assesses what are you struggling with, what are the challenges in your classroom, and then the master teacher customizes how each month will go in order to help address the challenges that the teachers are facing. And so they meet once a month throughout the school year, and it really provides an outlet for teachers to connect with each other, share resources, gain some new strategies on how to address challenges that they or their students are facing. And, especially in this time where now we're all online, we've heard feedback from our teachers that it's been such a great way to connect with other teachers because, for so many teachers, they're sort of on their own at home teaching. And so this has been another great way for them to connect with other teachers and share, what they're doing and what's going on.
No, I think that's an excellent thing to provide because, like you said, we provide all these resources and things for our students, but our teachers, especially during this time, are struggling as well, and they need support, and they feel that they're being isolated even more now than ever before. And so to have that community of learners and of other support systems that they can turn to, I think is a real benefit for our teachers, not just in AP, but overall as well. So thank you for providing that service for our teachers. Well, we'd like to thank our guest today, Maureen Reyes, Executive Director of AP Program Management at the College Board, for coming by our show today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
My name is Kevin Boston Hill, and thank you all for listening to Instruction Discussion right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.